mentioned this to Steve before. I think we talked about this.
What'd you buy?
No. Fannie and Freddie.
Dude, I got onto the stream like 2 minutes ago, and he's talking about how he's buying Fannie. I came into a conversation between him and Fonz about Spencer buying Fannie Mac and Freddie Mae.
That's Fonz said that was fine.
No, Fonz stayed quiet.
You can judge me all you want. That's fine.
What's wrong with you, Spencer? Of all of the amazing businesses you could buy that we cover and we talk about every day,
the line go up, man.
Fannie.
I don't know what to tell you. Line go up.
You read Misbehaving by Richard Thaler?
No. Should I?
Probably. I mean, you know.
He hates economists, this guy.
I don't hate economists.
No, he likes behavioral economists.
First of all, Thaler is a behavioral economist.
Thaler's okay. Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me? Thaler's the fucking man.
Okay, I know. Great.
Don't be hating on Thaler.
Listen to him.
Don't ever say anything bad about Kahneman or Tversky. I'll slit your throat. Those are my dudes right there.
I never would have guessed you would have such nice things to say.
About Thaler and Kahneman and Tversky?
Just this group of people. Yeah. Look,
dude, I love how Kahneman and Tversky, they used to go back and forth between English and Hebrew, and then just like Cubans with the Spanglish. That's how they used to roll.
Cool.
Shout out to the Israelis.
All right.
Did you guys have a nice weekend? I hear the weather was lovely up there.
I did. It was lovely. Let's start the show up, all right?
Let's do it.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. We got a good one for you today. As I mentioned on Friday's show, Paul LaMonica will be on the show today from Barron's. We're going to be talking China. It's always a good time to talk China. We got a lot to discuss today between the weekend Bitcoin rally, some big movers this morning. I don't know what charts JC has to share. I don't know what charts Steve has to share, but we'll find out. We'll have Sam Gatlin stop by. Kenny Glick will stop by. That is the plan. What up, chat? How we doing? Sambo. What up, Sambo? Back from his vacation. Okay, let's bring on JC, bring on Steve, and start this dance, all right? Drop me a like, please, and thank you. It's the thumbs up.
Total crypto market cap last night hit $4 trillion. Mr. Steve Strazza, what do you think about that?
It's a really big deal. That's a milestone for sure. We're really happy for crypto. We're mostly happy for crypto bulls, people who have been there. I've been adding to my altcoin basket.
No, for sure. I just want to give a shout out to me. I want to give a shout out to one Steven Strazza, Chief YOLO Officer and Chief Market Strategist of a one All-Star Charts. I want to give a shout out to Louis Sykes. Shout out to Louis, absolutely nailing this Ethereum move. As much as Strazza and I may have agreed, I think we would all agree that Louis was way more obnoxious than you or me, and that's saying a lot. Would you agree with that?
My girlfriend just slammed my door.
Well,
she doesn't own enough crypto.
Because she doesn't own enough crypto. Exactly. That's her issue.
That's probably why. She underweight crypto. Tell Rose to step it up. Step it up. All right. This FOMO thing she's got going on, that's not going to fly around here. All right. Not going to fly.
It's unbecoming.
I want to give a shout out to Richard Thaler.
Richard that was Louis Sykes. We're back to Richard Thaler.
Back to Thaler. Okay. The anecdotes are just so hilarious. Even Phil Perlman, who's like a behavioral economist, like hater, like he's like, they're all the same. And you know how he is. He doesn't hate on Thaler. He's like, Thaler was there with Kahneman and Tversky. So for Perlman to be like, yeah, all right. because he caught me last week and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know if you're going to be proud of me or disappointed." He's like, "Oh, here we go. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm reading Misbehaving by Richard Thaler. How do you feel about that?" He just starts laughing. He's like, "Well, you know, the anecdotes are hilarious, dude. They're so good. I mean, humans are fucking crazy, man."
I like lots of economists. I generally disagree.
Name one economist that you like. Go.
John Maynard Keynes.
John Maynard Keynes.
That's
Listen,
that's like one of the OG. Good. Yeah.
Because they went and they figured out the theory for all of this stuff and gave us a framework to operate within and things to expect when we go and apply it. Somebody had to do that work. So they're good to have, economists. Say what you want.
Shout out Adam Smith while we're at it. Right.
There you go. The invisible hand. That's a good one.
Yeah, okay. Should we
I know my economists, JC. I got books. Bro.
Should we state some markets, Mr. Satoshi?
I think we should. I am not Satoshi. Okay. I know like a lot of people out there like think I am Satoshi.
You think that's that?
Like I know that there's like Reddit threads and everybody's like, "Oh my God, JC is Satoshi." I am here to tell you, fake news. I am not smart enough to know how to do any of those things.
That's exactly what a Satoshi would say. So
yeah,
that might be true. That might be true. All right,
watching you.
I don't know about that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Dow futures up 70 points this morning. That's 44,350. We got S&Ps flat this morning, up 5 handles, 64.18. We got the NASDAQ futures also flat, up 6 handles, 23,720. Bond futures flat as well, with the 30-year bonds at 115 and change. Crude oil, 64 and a quarter, up 0.5%. Copper down 0.5%, 444. Gold getting hit this morning, down 2.5%, down to 3,400. Silver also down 2%, 37.75, with the VIX up to 15. Still under 16 for the old volatility index, which based on my math is pricing in moves in the S&P 500 of less than 1%. This is the first time that we've seen anything like that since April. So new 4-month lows for the VIX. And over in funny money land, we got Bitcoin up another $400 this morning, 119,720, almost 120,000 over in Ethereum. Ethereum down almost 2% on the day, believe it or not, 41.75 above 4,000 for the ETH. That puts it at $500 billion in market cap, by the way. Spencer, I know you're keeping score at home. Solana down 2% as well today, 178.5, and that brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, new all-time highs, 3.92, hitting $4 trillion in total market capitalization in the overnight sesh. Throw up slide 2, please, for the folks who may not be familiar.
That's a big deal.
Is it though? Is it? Tell me why it's a big deal.
It's a lot of trillions.
I mean, it's taken us a while. I'm because we look at it every day, so it feels like it's taken us. We've been at this now. We've been knocking on the door for how long? Months, quarters.
What is the what's the deal? Like the general zeitgeist around the crypto now? It's no longer uninvestable. Is it a legit asset class for the long run? Where are people's heads at?
I think that seems to be the conclusion. Is it is an asset class? It's not a currency. It's an asset class, right?
We didn't ask Sohn about the Ethereum flows, but if you keep seeing the kind of thing that we saw with the Bitcoin flows in every next one that they launch now, just that alone could keep a bull market running in crypto. Those sorts of institutional flows. Because despite us celebrating the 4 trillion mark here, it is still a very, very minor small asset class. No?
$4 trillion is not even one stock.
I'm just saying, look at the success that the early investors have had. If you pull up a chart of IBIT or ETHA, you rarely see this, first of all, but these were great launches, right? Ethereum finally just now making new all-time highs, the iShares spot ETF, ETHA. But investors who got into these funds when they were launched have been rewarded. They want to buy the next one. So if Solana and Ripple come next, right, and then they do the rest of the big altcoins, I think you're going to keep seeing massive flows. And I wouldn't underestimate, the impact that that's going to have on the supply and demand dynamic going forward for the whole space. And frankly, as they list and launch these smaller funds, it's going to have a relatively larger impact. Anyway, nobody's interested in what I'm saying. So what up, chat?
We got the Coinbase. Coinbase, I'm looking at the coin market cap here. We're looking at Bitcoin, 2.4 trillion almost. Ethereum, over $500 billion in total market capitalization. Ripple still under 200. Solana, 96. With the Doge. Doge at 34 trillion. Cardano, 27 trillion. Just want to put things in perspective there. Litecoin under 10 trillion still. You got the old Shiba Inu at 7.7 billion. Shiba Inu, the silver to Doge gold, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
JC, what's the best altcoin to buy right now?
I don't know. This ass deck has my attention. The green dildo coin, also really interesting. It's a marketing group out there. They were throwing green dildos onto the basketball court, the WNBA games. Really,
I think it's disgusting. Shame on those people.
Listen, I'm not advocating for such behavior. Quite the opposite. I am not one to throw anything on any NBA court or sporting event. I think it's rude. Green dildos or otherwise, it's not not anything I would do. I'm just explaining what they're doing to help answer the question that you asked me. Some of the ones that just have my attention. That's all. No big deal.
Watch ticket sales go up.
You can also bet on the color of the dildo that's being thrown on Polymarket. You could bet on the color of the next dildo being thrown on the court on Polymarket.
We talked about this, and it's not right. They better be auditing the winners of these bets, because you can just go and throw the dildo that's the color you bet on.
You can do a whole lot more than that.
I don't think they teach this stuff in the CFA.
Spencer, relax, okay? This is a kids show.
No, I'm saying I'm saying that type of bet is ubiquitous on those platforms. You can insider bet a million times, a million different ways.
Like I said, there was a guy who bet on a streaker, like at the Super Bowl or something, and he bet on it, and then he streaked, and he made a bunch of money. Like after the fines and like the legal fees.
You get to keep the money though?
Isn't that? See why not? I mean, you guys can look it up. I'm not sure.
It's just, but bring it back to the crypto thing. What makes crypto so interesting and the meme coins so interesting is that for the first time ever, really, and I know it's not new, we've been at this for a couple of years already, but you really can profit off of a meme. Imagine being one of those early internet memes, right? You're Bad Luck Brian, or Overly Attached Girlfriend, or I forget the other ones now. It's been so long, but these pictures went viral on the internet 15 years ago, and they had no way to profit off their likeness. But now you can. Now, like Steve said, it's all marketing. It's all marketing and virality, and you can profit off of a meme. And sometimes it takes only a couple hours.
There's traders out there that are monitoring TikTok trends and trying to see what's moving. I was talking to our homie Jason Krutsky the other day. He was kind of filling me in on some of the strategies out there that some folks are incorporating. Throw up
I like it
there, please. Strazza brought up John Maynard Keynes. I don't know if you guys have read the Bitcoin Standard. Have you, Strazza?
Apparently, I pronounced Keynes wrong.
Keynes.
Yeah, shut up, Topher.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Pipe down, Topher. Strazza, have you read the Bitcoin Standard yet?
No.
Spencer Israel, have you read the Bitcoin
No,
Standard?
I can only read one book at a time, and I'm in the middle of one right now. So
You only read one book at a time, really? I read like 5 or 6 at a time.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
I get bored, and then I move on, and then like, you know, I get deep in the weeds, and then like I'm like, oh shit, Richard Thaler, let's fucking go.
Can't
You
do
know,
A good reader is not afraid to put a book down if it sucks.
yeah, I read 5. Yeah, that's actually really good advice. You know who taught me that?
There's no
As
time.
usual, right again, Morgan Housel. That was him. He's like, you know, if the book's not very good. You know who also says that? Ben Carlson says that too.
Tight stops on the books.
Yeah, tight stops on the books. Good call. Good call. So Bitcoin Standard, read it cover to cover. Highly encourage it. As it turns out, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, which is really
I like that.
Yeah, it all has to do with like currencies.
Gold standard and stuff, right?
No, it's about like the first 2/3 of the book is just history lessons about like old currencies in different civilizations throughout history. It's really fascinating, as a matter of fact. The reason I brought it up, Ryan Harris, they hate him. They hate Keynes in this book. They call him a pedophile.
What?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. This book claims that Keynes was a pedophile. He would go to like, you know, children whorehouses like in the Mediterranean and stuff like that. Like,
I don't want to know this stuff.
No, I don't know. I'm just telling you what's in the book.
Erroneous.
Right? You think it's erroneous? I don't know.
Erroneous.
This guy, Saif Dean Amos, this guy, very angry in the book.
Yeah.
This is a very angry man. I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed it, but the guy is not a happy dude.
Are we recommending the book or not? I can't tell.
I recommend the book. I recommend the book. If you're like a history nerd like me and you like learning about like old currencies and like various random civilizations in Africa and shit like that, like it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. All right, throw up slide 4, please. This was over the weekend. Speaking of angry people, nothing makes me happier than seeing angry journalists. Here we go. Oh, I like the added touch. The added touch of the time bomb.
Hold on.
Extra scary on a Saturday morning. So I want to give a shout out to the journalism community for scaring the crap out of all of your parents' financial advisors.
I look at this cover and I'm thinking neutral. This is a neutral looking cover.
It's a fucking time bomb. What do you mean neutral?
I don't know. It kind of looks
time bomb. What part
like
of time bomb on a Saturday morning is neutral?
Spencer, right? Like there's no fire, there's no destruction, there's no like dead bodies. This is not a good bear porn cover.
There's a time bomb on the cover of Barron.
We are talking to a Barron's reporter in about 12 minutes.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah. I gave a shout out to Barron's this morning. I've been a subscriber to Barron's my entire career. You know that? I used to get it delivered to my apartment in Hoboken. Shout out to Hoboken, 500 Grand Street. For you tourists out there that, you know, visit historical sites, you can see where JC lived in his early 20s. 500 Grand Street, apartment 2, right there on the 3rd floor, right there on the corner. You know, you could take pictures, show your friends. Like, I visited the site where JC once lived in Hoboken, right around the corner from Fiore's. I highly encourage you, if you're going to visit the historical site, go on a Thursday or a Saturday and go over to Fiore's right around the corner on Adams and get yourself a roast beef sandwich, fresh mutts right there. Tell them it's your first time there. Tell them JC sent you, and they'll give you a little fresh mozzarella right there while you wait.
So they have a Grimaldi's here.
Do they?
Yeah. That was my reaction. I got excited. And we tried it. And I tried the calzone too, because they're famous for the calzone, right? God, it was terrible.
You know, they're run by Russians.
Look out for these chains.
No, they're run by Russians. We went to Grimaldi's. Remember we went to Grimaldi's like a year or two ago, and it was all Russians. Remember how they spelled JC?
Oh yeah, they spelled JC wrong. That was funny.
At least it was delicious when we went. We went to the one in Brooklyn. That's the original. You got to look out.
Not even the original. It's like down the block from the original.
I didn't know that. When they start popping up everywhere, these famous joints, right, especially with pizza, maybe with pizza more than anything.
No, that's probably true. Dude, there's a Rayo's at Caesars in Vegas.
Don't trust that either. They got
that either. No,
they've had Pepe's at the Mohegan Suns.
I'm not sure if it's at the Caesars or at one of those. I think it might be a Caesars also. They have a DeForest.
You know where you go at the casino? Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
Okay.
Go.
Jordan Steakhouse.
Michael Jordan.
That still exists?
This is Michael Jordan. Why wouldn't you go eat Michael Jordan?
They used to have a Michael Jordan Steakhouse in Grand Central, and that's not there no more. I was there a long time ago.
You're really old because I don't remember that.
Do we have other charts to share before Kenny's here?
Do we have other charts to share? Show up. Throw up slide 5 there, please.
I had a chart, and we were just getting into the crypto so much.
Yeah, I like the I like I like what Strazza is doing here on slide 7 or 8. Let's set the stage. Slide 5 there with the Bitcoin, pushing up against new all-time highs, right? Just, you know, in that consolidation. Keep going, and then we'll get to Strazza's charts here. Solana, you know, looks good. Looks like, you know, cup and handle. Shout out to William O'Neill. And then talk to me about what's happening here. Go on. What's happening here? Why are you comparing SoundHound, which had a hell of a day last week? We are thrilled about that SoundHound. Tell me about the chain link. What does one have anything to do with the other?
I've thought this way for a long time, but I was trying to make the point in a quick note the other day that altcoins are ultimately the same and should be treated the same as really ARK stocks, speculative growth stocks, some of these high-flying stocks. That's the way to think about altcoins, especially in a bull market. And I wanted to use just a super random, strange example of it. And these are two charts that I look at a lot. I recently bought more Chainlink. We've been trading the SoundHound for, like a year now. And you overlay the two, the resemblance is uncanny. They're almost identical. If I were to strip off the labels here, you wouldn't be able to know the difference.
That is true.
How many
people out there are regularly looking at Chainlink?
Now, JC, this just goes back. The look back period in this chart is about a year. Show the other one. These are giant reversal patterns. And I'm zooming out about 5 years, 4 or 5 years here. This is the flagship ARK Innovation Fund in blue with one of our custom altcoin indexes in black, both printing reversals at the same time. One's a bit more volatile than the other, right? The altcoin index. Outside of that, this is the same patterns, the same charts, following the same little structure here, slowly reversing trend over the course of the past several years. And I think you know, if you're one of these people who's had success trading these ARKy, you know, speculative growth stocks, shout out Kenny, he's going to come on and talk about a handful of them in a minute here, then look at the altcoins, right? That's a pond for you to fish into then. They act the same, they trend the same, they come with a ton of beta. When they go, they really go. They're fun to trade. Shout out altcoins. A little late, but I think it's still going to be an altcoin summer. Don't we have a couple weeks? When does summer end?
Wait.
Like third week of September.
It always starts and ends later than you think.
Thank you. Jason says Steve's background is so classy. Isn't it? Isn't it? Wow.
Better than the picture of Jeremy Shockey and like Barry Sanders or whatever the hell you had on before that.
No, they're gonna go back up. I'm figuring that out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, all right, good. Can we throw up slide nope, that's not what I want. What do I want? Nope, that's not what I want. I had a good chart that I wanted to show. Here we go. Throw up the new slide 2. This is probably the most bullish thing in the market right now. I can't think of anything more bullish in the market, and I think about bullish things in the market pretty much every day.
You like this?
All day.
You like the small caps?
It's not so much that I like the small caps as much as I like the fact that futures traders hate the small caps. In fact, speculators have never had such a high short interest in the Russell 2000 ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever?
JC, it's fine. I like that you like them.
No.
I like that you like them.
They hate them.
Yeah. I hear you.
Why do you think they hate small caps so much? Steve Strazza, Spencer Israel, man of the people. Why do you think these people, these humans, why do you think they hate the Russell 2000 more than they ever have before, ever in history?
I think you just said it. I think you really do have to draw a fine line between small caps and the small cap Russell 2000 index. God, is it just a junky vehicle? It's really bad.
You know,
why do they hate it? I mean,
why do they hate it?
Just look at the chart compared to the NASDAQ and the S&P.
Chronic underperformer. Our chart friends are literally out here on Twitter mocking the relative trends in small caps. How's that for sentiment?
Because there's no Nvidia in the Russell. There's no Meta. There's no Google. There's no Alphabet. So what's to love?
Michael says it's a rate story. Maybe. I mean, is it a banks and biotech story? You might be onto something, Michael.
Well, banks and biotechs, yes, because that's a quarter of the entire index.
Okay. You know, you play this game, you're like, what's in it? And you look beneath the hood in the Russell 2000, and the answer is a ton of banks and biotechs, enough to drive. And then you think to yourself, what's important for the banks and the biotechs, particularly the small banks, which are the ones that are in the Russell? And it's interest rates, first and foremost. So
I got the chart. I got the chart.
Okay, but then after that, I'm bringing on Kenny.
I got the chart. Yeah. This is the chart that you guys want. So here we're looking at. Let's see. Man, I can make a chart.
Yeah, what was that active small cap fund? Who was it? Todd Sohn?
Yeah, there's some active small cap funds. Throw up slide 2, and then we'll go to Kenny. But this is the one right here.
Yeah, it was Todd. I'll ask him. I forget, Billy.
This is a great chart. I want to give a shout out to me. Yeah, big shout out to me.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. This is a great chart.
This old man still got it. Yep. Great chart. You're right.
Tell me, come on, everybody in the chat, weigh in. If you don't think this is the best chart you see today, you could leave.
I'm not saying I'm not familiar, but great chart.
Dope chart, though. Come on. So here we're looking at the Russell 2000 small cap ETF since initiation in May of 2000, relative to the large cap Russell 1000 ETF. Again, since initiation, May of 2000. And what do you know? What do you know? The rainbow has now completed. Is there treasure here at the end of the rainbow, Mr. Strazza? You got to unmute yourself, sir.
You got to see it, right? You just got to see it at this point. I'm not against it, and I think you can start to build an intermarket picture that suggests maybe even you should anticipate it, at least on a counter trend basis. So I'm open to it. There's probably a trade there, but we got to see it.
New 52-week highs in short interest in the Russell 2000 ETF. Yep. New all-time highs in the short interest for speculators in the futures market. They hate them. And
JC, even this bounce off the lows, I mean, small caps just can't outperform at all in any environment. So it's a real problem.
Yeah,
that will have to change drastically and change fast, and it usually does when it does.
Tell me what you have to see.
You got to see a momentum bang. Yeah. You want to see a thrust, some sort of initiation reading, right?
You trust the thrust?
It depends what form it takes.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, I like a good thrust.
I like a bundle of thrusts.
Yeah, I also like a bundle of thrusts. Yeah. Not just one thrust, but consecutive.
All at once. I want, just.
All right, Kenny Glick. Kenny Glick in the house. Brian Harris in chat saying Kenny's segments have been fire lately. I agree, they have been.
Always.
Kenny, let's go.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my clock, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Mr. Kenny Glick in the house.
Player. What's up?
What do you do?
Kenny's looking at the cues of like a normal person.
What do you mean?
Who you calling normal?
Yeah,
that's better for you. Yeah, it looked like he was going down there for a second. That was an anomaly. That was like 2 Fridays ago.
It's a fugazi.
This market sold off for a couple hours that day. Remember that? It was like way back, like a week and a half ago.
That was so fun. Remember that?
Crazy times.
So tell me, so stocks only go up, Kenny, or what are we seeing?
That's the rumor right now. And I tried to make sure everybody understood that on Friday because people are thinking, oh, come on, this time is different. Okay, this time is different. But what I was just trying to tell people on Friday was that if you're so confident the market's going to go up, why not just buy the longer dated QQQ options? And I was like, there's the anomaly. It doesn't go up in a straight line. You get a chance to buy the daily options cheaper the day of options expiration, then you would do it overnight. Because if you're buying something on a Friday, especially for Monday, if you get it even right, you're losing that premium over the weekend. So it's still not a good trade. So we held the stock overnight, QQQ, once again over the weekend, sold the gap. I'm actually short right now. Don't tell anybody. But I'm just playing the fade right now. But we're going to spend
shorting the Qs, huh?
Yeah, I'm short right now. We're gonna spend a lot of this week preparing for what we're doing on Saturday. If you don't know, so Saturday we're gonna gather between 12 and probably 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm gonna go over all the trades that have worked, the earnings reversals that have been just on a tear, and I'm gonna try to find all 1,038 of them over the last 3 years that have worked in a row. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna be doing this week. So if you have questions, if you want to see this trade that I consistently talk about, that earnings reversion trade that's been working every time it shows up, that's what we're going to be doing most of the week and into Saturday, and it should be a really nice week. Just a little education from Kenny this week.
Only for members of Hit the Bid. Join at hitthebid.com. It'll be Saturday, like Kenny said.
I'll let you sneak into the schmooze maybe just for another taste. So I'm glad you guys showed up to the schmooze, right? Prepared for the XYZ trade, prepared for the Pinterest trade, prepared for that FTNT the other day, and whatever that disaster was, TTD on Friday also. We managed to squeak out a profit on that one as well. So it's been great trading. There's nothing to complain about.
Give me another name on the move this morning, Kenny.
How about Blowjob Doctor? What? BJDX. Come on now.
Children's show.
It's a family show.
I don't know. I just saw it going by. That was the symbol that we were
So
on.
tell me more about your BJs.
I don't know, but I need a doctor. So
I can't.
That's the one. But I'm actually looking for this.
It's called BJ Doctor.
BJDX. I have no idea what this. I don't know what they do. I don't know what a stock this is. I just saw BJDX going through my scanner. So
I mean, if that doesn't get your attention on a Monday morning, well, it will.
There you go. I'm actually watching Rumble. RUM. They got earnings. So
Rumble's the one where the girls make the decisions.
No, it's Bumble.
Rumble. Oh, and also Monday. MNDY. The gap down.
Rumble is the Republican YouTube.
Yes.
Got it. What it is? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Republican YouTube dating app. You know, it's very confusing. Bumble, Rumble,
it's all the same. It's all the same. And I don't know what Monday.com is, but they're not having a good Monday.
That's Israeli software.
Oh, it's project management.
Look at me. Who knows their stuff around here?
Trust me, you guys, the two of you would never use Monday. Trust me.
Why?
Yeah.
Everybody hates
it's about organization. Project management.
Oh,
are you saying that I am not organized?
It's a deep cut.
Maybe. I don't know.
Spencer.
Kenny, we'll let you run it, right? Hit the bid.
By the way, how about them Yankees? Remember about a month and a half ago, I said they're going to lose 30 out of 40. Here it is. I told you.
Yeah.
They're a sinking ship, my friends. Bet against them.
What
Live
a
betting.
hater, bro.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for that.
I'm going to make money. Emotional hedging. See ya.
Kenny Glick. Drinking that haterade this morning.
Lord almighty.
Perma Bear.
All right. We got Paul LaMonica in the house. This was, again, as I said Friday, this was a specific request from Steve Strazza. He said, can you please get Paul LaMonica on the show? I want to talk about China. He wrote about it a few, I guess, months ago now. Wrote about Chinese tech. It's been on Steve's mind for a while. So Steve asked, and I delivered. So we got Paul here. Let's bring him out.
Do it. Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's going on, my man? Long time.
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having me. Let's not talk about the Yankees.
Yeah, please.
So many people don't know this, but I don't know, like a zillion years ago, myself, Sean McLaughlin, Josh Brown, Joe Fahmy, the whole crew. We used to write stuff, and Paul and friends would, reshare that on CNN Money and all that stuff. Remember back in the day, Paul?
That is a while ago. If I remember correctly, I forget if you were on or not, but we even briefly had a video show much like this called Bullhorn that we basically kind of modeled after Around the Horn on on ESPN, where we just quickly did rapid fire talks on stocks. But yeah, that was many moons ago.
Wow.
Absolutely. I appreciate the love back then, just, a nobody. And not that I'm not still a nobody, but definitely back then, 15, 16 years ago, or whatever it was. Steve Strazza, what were you doing 15, 16 years ago? Were you auditing? What were you doing?
I was in college reading your guys' stuff.
Nice. On CNN Money. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember social back in the day, Paul? Remember how great social was? Making friends, sharing ideas. These guys got so angry and so political now and everything, like look at me and how angry I can be and so offended at what's happening on the other side of the world that I have no control over. These guys got so angry. It wasn't always like that, Paul.
It does seem more polarizing now, but I think the anger that used to be there was anger just about stocks. Like I remember, now I'm really dating myself, but writing about .coms in the late 90s and early 2000s, if you would dare to suggest that, maybe Cisco at a triple digit PE is just a smidge overvalued, you would get roasted on the Yahoo Finance message boards. Remember them? And
I remember those.
I think the anger was always there, but it might have been just more about the germane topic of investing in stocks instead of it, now becoming, a political discourse as well. So I don't think this is a new era of social media kind of pitchforks, if you will. I think it's just evolved. It's become a little bit more prevalent.
Probably fair.
It's funny. We just call things different names now. Like Yahoo Finance message boards. Wasn't that Reddit before Reddit?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Dude, Yahoo Finance message boards. You want to talk about crazies. Man, they were crazy in there, boy. Especially when you went down the cap scale to like these biotechs.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. The micro caps, the penny stocks. Yeah.
So listen, I know, Paul, you're here to talk about China, and Steve is very excited, but, we have you here, and you're an OG. Paul is an OG. So, I just want to reiterate what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring it back, right? Mm-hmm. The way I came up in this business, sharing ideas, making friends, respectful discourse, jokes, making people laugh. Like that's how I came up in this business. And then somewhere along the lines, I got lost. People forgot about all that stuff. So nobody has wanted to build a community for traders and investors to share ideas and enjoy themselves. Nobody wanted to do it. So we did it here at Stock Market TV. We got a great crew. Steve Strazza right here, Spencer Israel, Sean McLaughlin, Jeff Mackey, Herb Greenberg, Riley Roseby. I mean, the list goes on and on. Nobody wanted to do it, or people, were too busy or whatever. So we did it. Paul, what do you think?
No, that's great. I mean, obviously it's a lot of the old crew. I do remember from, the kind of early
Phil
days
Pearlman,
OG,
yes. Part of our crew, so it truly is a blessing. And, it's very selfish because I really enjoyed that period of time. So I wanted it back. So we did it.
Right. No, that's great.
Who's got the better chart? Strazza's Shanghai Composite or Shanghai Composite or Paul's top 10? I don't know.
Well, we're chart people, but Paul has the better report here. So, Paul, it's just such an honor having you on. I've been reading your stuff for a long time. I think you're great. And when I saw the headline come across that you had written about China, I guess a couple months back.
Yeah, back in late March, I think. So right before Liberation Day. Yep.
So I'm going to turn this right over to you. Our viewers probably already know what I think about this. I just love the article. I love the idea. It was titled, Forget the Mag 7. The terrific 10 are the tech bet for 2025. Then you dove in to 10 different names. What's interesting about China, first and foremost, is to kind of set the stage for this conversation. They're the only country in the world built like America from a capital market standpoint, where they're anchored by massive mega cap growth tech companies, very similar to the way we are here in the United States. So it's an interesting basket of stocks. Tell us why you kind of did this deep dive and really dug into the topic.
Yeah, this was interesting because it was at a time when things have obviously changed. The Mag 7 was really suffering in the big part, the early part of the year. Obviously Tesla and Apple are still
Yep.
down, but Nvidia has come roaring back. But at the time that I wrote this, there were a lot of concerns about Nvidia and the competition from DeepSeek and what that was going to mean. So I decided to take a look. There was this report from a head of thematic research in Asia for Neuberger Berman, and he identified these quote unquote terrific 10 Chinese stocks that could be, an alternative, if you will, to the Mag 7. So Alibaba, Tencent, Xiaomi, JD.com, among the few there. Geely as well is an interesting kind of play, and BYD, as the anti-Teslas, if you will, the more focused China EV players. And the thing that I thought was interesting is that DeepSeek was being viewed as kind of like an open AI moment, that it would really launch some of these Chinese tech stocks, into the conversation as alternatives for companies like Nvidia. Now, obviously, we have had this stunning rebound, in the past couple of months. That Nvidia went from being, a kind of persona non grata stock on Wall Street, if you will. Now it's the best stock in the Mag 7. So things can change on a dime, in large part because I think of what's happening with trade, with expectations of the Fed, probably easing in September, which was not guaranteed just a few weeks ago. So, I think the China trade still looks interesting, but companies like Alibaba have run up pretty aggressively. So I think you have to be a little more wary now about valuations.
But the tech companies have run up too. When you put this out late March, early April, that was right before U.S. tech stocks exploded again. Like you said, Nvidia, I think, has doubled off of its April lows. Chinese tech stocks have done really well too. Nobody's really talking about them. We still have that tariff trade war overhang lurking in the background. But when you zoom out on a chart, do we have our Shanghai? We created a similar basket. Throw it up.
Right.
Show Paul our basket. When you zoom out on this index of stocks, this is still like a brand new, a fresh trend reversal.
Right.
If you look at the US tech stocks, chart like this, 3 or 4 or 5 price targets have been hit. They're trading at new all-time highs, most of the Mag 7s. You named a couple like Apple and Tesla that are not, but the rest of them, they look incredible. China, when I look at the charts, much bigger runway here.
Yeah.
And the valuations too, Paul, while they might have run up, I mean, when you compare them to the United States tech stocks, it's still a big difference, no?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's always going to be the question about China accounting standards and earnings and whether or not they are as robust, if you will, as what we see in the US. I think there are also going to always be some worries about how, Beijing very quickly could go from we are extremely supportive of domestic industry to we are going to be very punitive. And remember, it wasn't that long ago there were the concerns about what was going on with Alibaba, with various executives in China, that they weren't being heard from. Why was that the case? I mean, for all of the craziness that is the DC environment right now, and the political discourse, what I don't think we are ever going to have is a situation where people are going to be wondering, oh, what happened to Tim Cook? How come he hasn't been seen in public? Where is Jensen Huang? Where is Mark Zuckerberg? Like, that's never going to happen in the United States, regardless of what you think about the political situation right now. We are obviously a much more open, freer capital market. So I think that's definitely will always give US tech stocks a premium over some of these terrific 10 Chinese stocks.
Now, there's got to be a price. There's got to be like the right kind of premium, right? Where nibbling on China or increasing exposure to China makes sense. The risks you're describing, which at this point, many of which, when you kidnap somebody in broad daylight, most of them are known. Are they baked in? Is it bad? And I remember just a year ago, people are telling me China's uninvestable. That always kind of gets my attention. So is it in the valuation or not quite, you think, all of these risks?
I think it probably is into the valuation to a certain extent. I mean, I don't think anything in China would be considered uninvestable, just given how massive that market is, and that the companies that are, true global industry leaders, you really could never say, I think, that it's an uninvestable market. But what I do think that's interesting, I'm taking a quick look right now. The K Web ETF, China Internet ETF, looks like it's trading at about 16 times earnings estimates for next year. That's obviously a pretty big discount to what you're seeing with the Mag 7. So I think that's just goes to show that there is still this discount for Chinese internet stocks.
Yep. And I remember a time too when Chinese stocks were all the craze, and they actually had higher or above average valuations. I'm going back a bit now, 10, 15 years, but China was this hot spot. It was this demographical story. Everything in the news was bullish about China 15, 20 years ago. That's really changed. But these international markets come in and out of favor. Like we've had India recently, and you never really know kind of where those valuations can go in the next cycle. So we are coming off an interesting low level here. Do you cover any of the other international markets? I mean, Paul, it's really been amazing. We talk about how, it's not always what it seems in the market, or how the market's out here designed to fool the majority of people.
Right.
International stocks, since whatever, Liberation Day, pick your date, since the trade war news erupted, have been incredible. I've been writing about any other international markets besides China, or covering this.
A little bit, obviously, I think what we've seen in Europe has been fascinating. A market that I think a lot of people, particularly in the U.S., had shunned for a long time. In part due to this, this notion that European growth was stagnant. That it's a much a little bit more older population. That you didn't really have the fiscal and monetary support as much as you did in the U.S. And I think things have changed there, in part because of the political landscape. I mean, obviously, you look at Germany and European defense stocks, and what a great trade that's been this year. I think the people recognize that countries in Europe are aware of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and they can't just sit idly by. So you're seeing this massive amount of defense spending, and and just in the same way that anytime the U.S. increases its Pentagon budget, that's good news usually for the Lockheeds and Northrop Grummans of the world. You're seeing big European defense stocks that are getting bid up as well.
It's been a massive theme.
Yeah.
You look at these European indexes, it's like they just go up every day. And it's been a long time, too, since we've seen that. Investors are used to a world where you just buy U.S. stocks and ignore everything else, and that's worked. And it's probably trained people's minds the wrong for 10 years now, right? Just own the U.S., forget the rest of the world. They don't even exist. Your portfolio is better off. If that were ever to change, there's probably a lot of people who aren't really positioned or ready for it. No?
Yeah, well, I think it hopefully that there's been this interesting wake up call that we had, around, the build up to Liberation Day and then the immediate aftermath. I mean, after the election, I think there was definitely, the narrative was American exceptionalism. We know how, President Trump, after he won the election in November, there was a lot of expectation that he was going to be a very pro-business president, and everyone was waiting and thinking that it was going to be like the playbook that we saw in the first term, that you would get all the stimulus first, you would get the tax cuts and the deregulation, and we're obviously starting to see more of that now. But anyone that thought he was bluffing about tariffs, I think they obviously got a rude awakening. And maybe one positive of that is that it did wake up investors to recognize that, oh yeah, the world is large and it's more than just the Mag 7 and other major blue chips in the United States. There are quality companies in geographies all around the world, and a lot of them make sense as investments as well. And now it's been just this positive upswing pretty much globally. This roaring bull market, thanks to the U.S. market coming back partly because of, I guess, the quote unquote taco trade, but also the expectation that the Fed is going to cut rates probably in September, and that the next Fed chair is going to be more dovish than Jerome Powell, whoever he or she may be.
Wouldn't that just be like the most poetic way for this relative trend to finally turn to? If we're able to look back at the chart of US outperforming the rest of the world for 10, 15 years, steady line, and all of a sudden you see this volatility and you go, oh, that was the trade war. That's when the rest of the world started doing better than the US. People say, what? But we're set up for that. And it wouldn't be at all unusual. There's a saying in markets that, stocks don't bottom on good news. They bottom on absolutely terrible news. They're throwing in the kitchen sink. It's over. That's when stocks bottom 6-9 months before the good news starts coming out. The relative trends are the same, are really no different.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You look at bear markets of recent history, and how the market bottomed in March of 2009, for example, after the implosion of Wall Street and Lehman Brothers and the Great Recession. The very brief blink and you missed it. COVID bear market that we had. And then again, I mean, we had a very rough stretch for the markets in April and early May. And the thing I think that's astonishing is that a lot of people I spoke to at the time were all of the mindset, for the most part, that this is an overreaction. Don't get too nervous. Things will be better. Like 12 to 18 months from now, we'll be back where we were. And we got there in 7 weeks.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
That's what's astonishing, is just how rapid this rebound has been. I don't think it's a surprise that it's happened, but the fact that it's happened so quickly is astonishing.
It's a recent phenomena that we're seeing as technical people. I don't know, what the kind of vibe or mindset about this is from the journalism standpoint, but markets are bottoming in a different way than we've seen historically, really since 2018. 2018, if you look back, was very much like a V-shaped recovery too. Then everybody remembers the pandemic. Sure, we had historic stimulus thrown, into the market and the economy right at the lows, but total V there. And then again this time. So markets are bottoming much quicker than they have in the past, whether that's from the rise of technology, information, government stimulus, Fed. There could be a myriad of reasons, but it's happening. Are people talking about that in your world?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to be a challenge, I think, for investors going forward is that, once again, with the Mag 7 trade, with maybe the exception of Tesla, back in full force, there is this notion that because the Magnificent Seven, if you want to throw Broadcom in there, call them the Elite Eight or Grade 8, Exceptional 8, you have this group of companies that are extremely important and have a very outsized percentage of the market weighting of the S&P 500. So even though the rest of the other 492 or other 493, their earnings growth may not be as robust, you're able to have these 7 or 8 companies lift the rest of the market, and that is great. I think the question becomes, what happens if we do go into recession, which we inevitably will? And then, not every recession has to be a great recession like 2008, but if there is a downturn, do the Microsofts and the Metas and the Alphabets of the world finally start pulling back, the hyperscalers, on their spending? What does that mean for the companies at the top of the food chain? And do we start getting, weaker earnings growth, which I don't think is being factored in at this point? And then I think the other big problem that I'm not so sure that many people are talking about it yet is that with the concern about how weak the last jobs report was and the reaction from the administration to get rid of the head of the BLS. In some respects, perversely, the president got exactly what he would have wanted with that jobs report, because the Fed's going to cut rates in September, assuming
that's the ammo that they need.
If now we have to question future jobs reports that might look rosier than expected because the president might have a vested interest in not making the job market look as weak as it might be, what is the Fed supposed to do if they're data dependent and the data all of a sudden looks better, even if they may not be able to trust it entirely? Don't they have to stick to that playbook and be data dependent? So, will the Fed not cut rates as aggressively for the rest of the year if the jobs market suddenly looks better? I don't know. I think it's going to be a difficult question that could be an issue, but I don't. We'll just have to wait and see what the next few jobs reports look like and how the bond market reacts, obviously, as well.
No, I thought that jobs report was really interesting too. But Paul, are we at that place again where bad news is good news?
It does seem that way. I mean, that wasn't the knee-jerk reaction on Friday, the Friday that the jobs report first came out, but it is telling that over then that next weekend, people maybe reassessed and decided, oh yeah, I guess the one good bit of news from that jobs report is that, Jerome Powell's probably going to sound a lot more dovish at Jackson Hole and tee us up for a September rate cut. So whether or not that happens, we'll find out, I guess, in a few weeks.
See that a lot where you get a knee-jerk reaction in one direction and the market comes and corrects it in the coming days. It's exactly what happened last week. Paul, this has been a real pleasure. Before you go, one last question. I saw you covered the IPO market recently. It's getting better, seems to me, as somebody who's, barely paying attention. Seems things are getting better there, but this is nothing like 2020, 2021. I guess we need interest rates to come down to see that kind of hot IPO market again. Is that even something that we should expect this cycle? Could we be going back to an IPO market quite like the one we saw a couple years ago?
It's possible. I mean, we haven't had the return as much of some of the more speculative SPACs that really juiced the new listing and IPO market. It does seem like the companies that are going out now do have they're a little bit more mature. They have good stories, if you will. But I do find it interesting that a lot of the truly gigantic decacorns, if you will, I'm not so sure we're going to see, will we get an OpenAI IPO anytime soon? Will we get Stripe? ByteDance obviously is a bit of an enigma because of the Chinese ownership and whether or not there's any forced sale of TikTok's U.S. assets. That could be an interesting IPO, obviously. But I think it's healthy what we're seeing. But I'm not sure that some of the biggest brand name companies are yet ready to rush back into the public markets.
Do they want lower rates or more economic certainty?
I think more economic certainty would be helpful. I mean, lower rates clearly would not be a disadvantage for companies looking to go public right now, but I think they are hand in hand. Having some more economic stability would be helpful.
Do you know if we're getting SpaceX this year? Good question from the chat.
That's a good question. I don't know if we're ever going to get SpaceX. Could we get Starlink as a carve out of SpaceX? I haven't gotten the sense that Musk wants to take all of SpaceX public, but that's we could do a whole show on what Elon Musk may or may not do.
I agree with you. I was asking this question on our Spaces last week. It's not going to be SpaceX as it currently exists. There's going to be carve outs and something's coming public, but we don't know, and it doesn't exist in that form today.
Probably not. Yeah.
Sure. All right, Paul. This was so awesome. Spencer, do you have any questions for Paul?
No, this was awesome, Paul. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one, sir.
Thanks. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been reading Paul's work for. Like you, I've been reading Paul for a very long time.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
So
when you talk about OG, Like,
I know.
you know, when you're talking about Yahoo Finance message boards, like, come on.
You guys joke. What was I
Spencer,
doing?
did you never do that? Were you ever on the message boards?
I've been on them since, but I was not there for the heyday of the message boards. No,
I was a big Seeking Alpha guy.
I never
back in the
was.
day. Yeah.
Big Seeking Alpha guy.
I never found any value in that website.
I still go there.
Do you?
I still go to see because they do a good job of just like quick hit news, like just like quick, like bam, 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 bam. You know, like just headlines. And
I just feel like if you're like a contributor to Seeking Alpha, like I probably don't want to be reading what you have to say.
Hold on.
Is that right or is that wrong, you think?
Well, look, you're not wrong, but at the same time, Seeking Alpha is still relevant. We got data this week. Dan Loeb, when he wants to share an excerpt of his investor letters, because they're a hedge fund, their letters aren't public, right? They're sending letters to their LPs, essentially the people who are invested in their funds. They could share it with the Wall Street Journal if they want to, but they don't have to. When he wants the public to see it, he's got to publish excerpts. He still does that on Seeking Alpha.
That's
which
cool.
Is super cool, right?
That's cool.
That's OG.
No, I mean, listen, I would love to use Seeking Alpha. I just see the types of people that are contributors there, and I just like, you know.
Richard says, I'm a Grimaldi. Talk to your people. The calzone was disgusting.
Yeah, why you got Russians making pizza? I mean, I know Brooklyn's got a lot of Russians. I mean, I get it.
Shame to yourselves.
You know, looking for more vowels in the last names of the cooks.
Awful.
You know?
All right, we got Sam Gatlin in the house. He has two vowels in his last name. That'll be enough for us today.
I could use some more.
Yeah.
Oh, Sammy, baby.
I just want to give a shout out to milk.
What?
The protein shake of nature.
Yes. Dude.
Why is everybody drinking milk? Strazza, Spencer.
Sam.
I'm sure Spencer can attest to my godson Samuel drinking a lot of milk.
Is Samuel drinking his milk these days?
Formula. Is that milk? I mean, it's milk based.
That works.
Right?
Listen, Sam.
Dude, the formula farts are out of control.
Oh, God. Sam, you're right. Everyone is doing it. Milk is so hot right now, back on trend. I like to enjoy mine with a little chocolate powder. Okay? I like to get my little chocolate.
Are you really a grown adult drinking chocolate milk?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. My
Drink
girlfriend
milk with your cannolis.
It's delicious. It's a late night snack. It's really not that bad for you. Fantastic. Sam, I'm so happy to see you drinking milk on air.
I had my first cannoli actually last
First
week.
fucking cannoli? What's wrong? What?
I had never had a cannoli. It was pretty awesome. It was actually called a holy cannoli.
I love you, Sam. That's awesome. They're very good. I'm glad.
I didn't know what a cannoli was until I went to college in Connecticut.
Nice. One of the greatest snacks.
Cubans don't eat cannolis.
Well, if you're not from the Northeast, I guess how would you know?
Cubans don't eat cannolis. By the way, Cubans are dumb for not eating cannolis. Like cannolis are delicious. Cubans should eat them. Cubans have other treats, that the Italians don't know anything about, right? So it's
one of the all-time great desserts, though.
Cannolis are great, man. Do you like the cannolis with the chocolate chips or no chips?
I like half chocolate chips. The people who do it right, they do one end with chips and one end with no chips.
What about the pistachios? You like the pistachios?
Add the chips.
And they'll chocolate dip one end too. For the chocolate lovers, you go with the chocolate dip.
All right, Sam.
Pistachios or no pistachios?
What do you got for us besides milk, please?
Well, Spencer, if you want to throw up, let's see, slide number 15.
I can do that.
I just want to give a shout out to HIV. I was just in the Pacific Northwest, and being a Kansas kid, I haven't seen a lot of these LGBTQ plus communities, but man, everywhere you go in Portland, there's another transgender or some guys pecking each other in an alley. You just can't escape it. And when
that doesn't go on.
Wait, Kansas? Stop. What the hell did you just say?
You heard
that doesn't happen in Kansas?
What? No, Sam. What did you just say?
There's a lot of gays and
before that.
That
you said shout out. You shout out
to HIV.
And what does that have to do with
Gilead? Gilead has the best HIV drug in the entire world, and they're completely dominating this space, Spencer. The FDA just recently approved their twice-a-year HIV therapy, and they're making like 28 grand a year each time they sell.
Nobody's dying from HIV anymore, right?
Yes, because of this company, JC. And, you know, we've been talking about healthcare being a beat down, oversold sector. And, you know, there's not any better relative strength than Gilead inside of that space.
When did people stop dying from HIV, out of curiosity?
I think Gilead came out with this drug about a decade ago. If you look at this chart here back in 2010, 2011, before this huge uptrend, that's when they came out with their first drug. So they'd had that one, which was, I think you had to take it every month or so.
Okay, so shout out to Gilead for doing good science. I don't know if we need to be given HIV shout outs.
Shout out to HIV cures.
HIV cures. Okay. That's a little better.
I think I just heard what I thought I heard. That was great, Sam. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, Magic Johnson. I remember how old was
Shout out Magic Johnson.
Like 8 years old when Magic. Christ. And then I asked my father, I remember asking my father, I was like, Dad, how do you get HIV? And he's like, well, you know, you could use it using needles to take drugs, is how he referred to needles at the time to an 8-year-old, you know,
and toilet seats.
Because I knew what steroids were at the time. So he's like, you know, people using needles for steroids is how he put it. Or,
he's not wrong.
You know, having sex, with
I used
women.
to think that you can get it from dirty toilet
seats. And then I told him, I was like,
wait,
Dad, he was taking steroids? And my dad's like, no.
Anyway, good science. This is not the first time Gilead has done this, Sam.
Dude, look at this base, man.
Wait. Didn't Gilead also solve Hep B, right?
Yeah, it's a really awesome company, Spencer. Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I love how the fundamentals are aligned with the technicals. You know, if you look through all of the components of the XLV, the healthcare sector of the S&P 500, you'll be hard pressed to find a better chart than this. So
no, best one. Best one. I'm with you.
Totally.
Good stuff, Sam. Yeah, you got to come to Key West if the LGBT.
Is this the best health?
I don't really want to see more of that, Steve. I was just observing it in the Pacific Northwest.
They'll pinch you.
I'm happy here in Kansas.
They'll come right up and grab you on the street.
Here, I bet you are.
And you know, you're young blood down there. You do very well in Oregon. You know, tall, handsome young man like yourself.
I had some of them approach me. I'm not gonna lie, but
with that cowboy
I had to turn it down.
Handsome young man. Yeah. Mike Thornton wants to know more about the pecking going on in the alleys.
No, we don't want to know about that.
Yeah, there was some of that going on. It was quite disturbing.
I don't care.
What kind of pecking was it?
I don't care.
We don't need to go there, Steve. It was. This is a show for kids too, so let's keep it.
Can we do recess or something? Anything else besides?
That wasn't recess enough.
Oh, I certainly hope.
I'd also like to talk about Natty season, Spencer. If we can go to slide number 16.
What are you going to shout out for us now, Sam? Genocide.
Number 16 first. So last week, Jason Purrs and I at the Gold Rush went live with Josh Young. It was an awesome discussion. Josh Young, for those of you who are not familiar, is the absolute best fundamental analyst for the entire energy space. And
is that true?
He's awesome. He is the man. So when you combine that fundamental analysis with our technicals, you know, it's a powerful signal. And he is super bullish on natural gas. And frankly, so am I. It's natty season. You know, it's college football season in the United States. And you know that's when it's time to buy natural gas futures. Next slide, Spencer, number 17. Historically, natural gas has screamed higher in the month of August, and I see no reason for this month to not be the same as the previous Augusts. If you can go to slide number 18 now, look at where natural gas futures are here at a very, very well-defined level of support at that $3.
It looks like Gilead upside down.
It does, JC.
Scrounging around on the lows. I watched
Are you going to give a shout out to people freezing to death while we're at it?
And go back.
My power went out before I jumped on this show. So,
good. You should have stayed out, Sam.
I really appreciate natural gas for keeping my lights on and allowing me to be here because I love coming on this show. You guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do some recess, please, before I
Spencer has family in Oregon.
any more of my sanity today.
Wait.
I'm sorry,
right,
Steve. What's
Spencer,
up?
what do you got?
Wait, Steve. No, Steve had something to say. I'm sorry, Steve.
What do you got?
No, it's fine now.
Okay, good. My recess was going to be just to say, after 6 long months, I can finally say I have seen every episode of The Sopranos.
Wow.
Finished it over the weekend. I am now, after I don't know, 30-ish years of living in the state, I can say I'm an official resident of New Jersey, having seen The Sopranos. It only took me 18 years after the finale, but I did it. I've seen them all.
You should be embarrassed that it took you this long. Where were you living under a rock when we were growing up and everybody was having Sopranos parties on Sunday nights and having watch parties? What were you doing?
I didn't have HBO.
Playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater in your bedroom?
Like Sopranos came out when I was 8 years old. I was too young to watch it.
I remember that. My mom wouldn't let me watch the early seasons. It was disappointing, but we would watch anyway.
I also remember going to the Baseball Hall of Fame. It happened. This is during the Sopranos run, and we were at the hotel on a Sunday night, and there were people in the lobby watching the Sopranos, but I did not understand the concept of like a weekly drop of a brand new episode on a Sunday.
It was a big
deal. I'm like talking, and everyone's like yelling at me, like, "Shut up, this little kid!" Because we want to watch the Sopranos, and I didn't get it.
How'd you feel about the ending?
I knew everyone knew about the ending. I knew about the ending when it happened. Right.
All right. So how'd you feel about the show? Like, give us a quick wrap.
Love the show.
And then, by the way, I'm stupid. So what happened at the end? Did they kill him? How did it end? Like,
what? Dude, he died. He died.
The implication is
maybe they all do.
Is Tony gets whacked. Well, I loved the message of the show, which is that in the end, like, nothing really matters. Like, time keeps going. You and all your friends and family are gonna die eventually. All your old neighborhood's gonna change. The places you hung out at are gonna change. The businesses are gonna close. Everyone dies. Right? That's kind of like the message that I took away from the show. Awesome, great show.
There used to be rumors before he passed, Galdafini, before he passed, that he was gonna go on Weight Watchers and he was gonna be like a huge Weight Watchers guy, like Oprah. And then they were going to do a prequel to The Sopranos. And I was really rooting for that because I feel like that would have been awesome.
We did watch the movie last night, the prequel movie, which is okay. But
it's fine.
It's fine. But anyway, great show. I just wanted to say, shout out to
the one with Galdafini's kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I met him. I sat next to him at a bar in Cleveland, Ohio. And we chit-chatted for like an hour. Super nice guy.
Just shout out New Jersey. Shout out New Jersey. That's
underrated state.
Yeah.
Underrated state. Throw up slide 2 there, please.
What's that?
Does the show, if nothing else, not do just such a spectacular job of depicting suburban life in the tri-state?
Yes. So,
incredible.
I feel like I know those people.
Yes, your fucking neighbors. It's crazy.
Those people are my neighbors.
They literally go to the deli to get gabagool.
Yeah.
Yes. And what's the Polish snack? He's always eating the
pierogies?
No.
The Polish
snack.
The kielbasa?
No.
I don't know.
They're like
anyway, I want to give a shout out to Richard Thaler. We started out the show talking about behavioral economics. Honestly, just like for the anecdotes alone, like you could not care about behavioral economics. You could not care about your portfolio, all of these things. But if you are, if you want to laugh at just how crazy humans are, and just it's good. It's good for laughs. Misbehaving by Richard Thaler, highly recommend.
Bialy, Steve, is what you're thinking of.
Bialy.
Yeah, Bialy's on a snack. Bialy's for breakfast in my house.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what they ate them for in Sopranos.
Anyway.
Right.
Okay.
You're not a Polish Jew, Spencer, right? Didn't your family come from Spain?
No. Yeah, I'm not Polish, but Bialy is like a bagel equivalent in my house. So,
that's right.
Yeah. Okay, Sam, do you have? I'm hesitant to ask, but you have anything?
I've got something more PG for you, Spencer. Number 15.
Sam, anybody else you can offend while you're here?
Yeah, Jesus, Sam.
Slide number 15. I think everybody will like this.
It's gonna now he's gonna tell us about the Jewish cyber stocks.
Everybody needs to go to Mount Rainier in Washington and see the reflection lakes. I mean, I sent this to the analyst team while I was here, and they thought it was AI generated because it was so beautiful. And
I like lakes.
this was just the most surreal nature I've ever seen in my life. So I want to give a huge shout out to Mount Rainier in Washington.
Good nature. It's good nature. It looks like good nature.
Washington makes decent wine, by the way. They got some Syrah, some Cabernet Sauvignon.
Good grapes, good nature. Shout out.
Well, it's not as good as Napa, obvs, but not terrible. Not terrible.
Yeah. That's pretty, Sam. How long were you there?
I was there for about 4 days, and then I went on to Oregon. But yeah, the Pacific Northwest is really beautiful. So I enjoyed my time there quite a lot.
Did you meditate?
I did not meditate. No, I did a lot of hiking. And it kind of made me realize how out of shape I am. You know, I have 3 siblings who are in pretty good shape, and we did some pretty long hikes, and I was always the last one, panting to get up the mountain. And so yeah, now I've been getting back on my workout grind. I was doing a bunch of squats and lunges and push-ups.
Strazza recommends the water aerobics.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm going to stick to my steak and eggs and push-ups.
Well, you're tiny. You need that.
Yeah, I am. I need to put on some weight.
Yeah, not me. Did you take peyote and connect with nature like Tony Soprano?
I did not, but that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's not really something I want to do with my family.
Fair enough.
Me either.
Fair enough. All right. What do we got today? We got Kenny going live at noon, the long and short of it, 1 o'clock. Truck request live. Email your requests into the inbox, questions at stockmarketmedia.com. We'll be back tomorrow with Mike Akins.
What's going on with my new show?
Yeah, we got to work on that. Strazza's new show. That's right.
Okay.
I haven't heard about this.
Strazza, another show for Strazza. That's what the world needs. I think so.
That's what the people want.
Got to give the people what they want, Steve.
Give them what they want. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Paul, Kenny, Sam, chat, as always. We love you. We'll be back tomorrow with Mike Akins from ETF Action. Have a good one. Go make some money.
Adios.
YOLO responsibly.
Go drink some milk.
Peace.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.